So I send it to him, and I sent it on a DVD because my buddy that filmed it worked at the TV station, and he burned it from the camera and put it on DVD.
Back in the old days.
So I sent it in. That was it. I did my deal. I said I would do it. I did it. So it gets in. 3 days later, late at night, 10 o'clock at night, Lori and I are sitting, my wife and I are sitting on the couch watching TV. Home phone rings. She goes, no. She's from Rhode Island. She's from North Providence, so she's a little bit tough on the phone at 10 p.m. You know, like, who's calling at 10 p.m.? No, I don't know where he is. No, he's not here. I'll take a message. No. Yes. No. She finally covers the phone. She goes, it's the Food Network. Bullshit. Food Network. It's one of my buddies being a jerk off. So I pick up the phone. I go, hello, Food Network. Blah, blah, blah. You know. And they said, is this Guy Fieri? And I'm like, okay, so I know it's not, because it was one of my buddies. They would have said, you know, Fieri. So she goes, yeah, we got your DVD, and we'd like to talk to you about it. And we want you to be on the show. I said, well, okay, what does that entail? Well, there's a contract that'll be on your door tomorrow morning. We FedEx it to you. So I get the FedEx, and I look at it, and I give it to one of my attorney buddies, like, man, they own your ass. If you sign this, they're going to own you. So he redlined a bunch, and I sent it back to him. They called me back, and they said, you can't redline the contract that we're sending you. This is like, you want on the show or you don't want on the show.
What is, like, when you say they own you, like, what do you mean?
Oh, he says, you know how a contract goes when you get into TV. I mean, there's like, you know, we've got you for 36 months. You can't do any other production, you know, whatever.
36 months?
I don't know.
Really?
I didn't. Don't quote me on any of it. All I know is I had never signed an entertainment contract at that point.
Yeah.
So,
a lot of them are pretty predatory. They take advantage of the person that doesn't have any exposure. If you're going to become a star, they want to profit massively off it. And
so that's where it kind of, my guy said to me, he goes, yeah, you have your own restaurant, you're doing your own thing. What are you doing? What are you getting on TV for?
Right.
And so long story short, I went, Lori and I were pregnant, 8.5 months.
You were pregnant too?
Yeah, well, that's what I call it. I held the baby weight. So anyhow, I got on the show. I got there. Everybody's standing there buttoned up in their chef coats. I walk in, and I'm in New York. Never been to New York. I'm in flip-flops and shorts and a yellow leather jacket, and I walk in, and everybody's like, you know, all puckered. And I'm like, oh, fuck, this is not going to go well. This is going to be a shit show. And I just said, you know what? You got to give it a shot. So I just went in. I was just me, did what I do. I won. So I won the show. And what you win is a 6-episode cooking show, which they ran at 7 a.m. on Saturdays. I mean, it was the worst time slot in the world. But they gave me the show, and I did good. And they gave me another show, and I did the show, and I hated it. I did the pilot, and I hated it. And I'm like, I can't do this.
What was that show?
It's called Gotta Get It. I don't think you're going to find him. You're not going to find this
He'll
thing.
find it.
No, Jesus, please. I don't think it was never aired. So what it was a
He'll
show.
Find it.
It was a show about. It was a show about kitchen gadgets, and I'm not a kitchen gadget chef.
Oh, so it's like you got to get one of these Cuisinarts.
It wasn't even that good. I mean, It was like avocado slicer. I'm like, if you can't slice an avocado, don't eat it. I mean, you got a problem. But there was a cool one. There was a oven that talked Bluetooth to your phone, and that was way before Bluetooth stuff was really going on. There was a 2-stroke weed eater mower with a blender on it, and that was the coolest one. I made margaritas in that, and so anyhow. But the one they gave me that sucked the worst, or the one that I wasn't excited, was they gave me a ball, like a hamster ball. Remember the hamster balls? You put the hamster and run around the house. But you'd pour cream and vanilla and sugar and all this in a ball and then throw ice cubes in it, and then you would roll the ball around, kick it around, and it would roll and it would make ice cream.
Okay.
Yeah.
Kind of fun.
Yeah. So, not for a guy that has a sushi barbecue restaurant and, you know.
Yeah, how long does it take to make ice cream by kicking a ball around?
I don't know. Too long. I was
thinking that's fun, but then I thought, no. How much time?
Go kick it when you're in flip-flops. So I did the whole thing, and they called me a couple weeks later, and they said, hey, congratulations. The show got picked up for 13 episodes, primetime. I'm like, oh, I gotta be honest with you. I'm not going to be able to do that show. I'm like, what? I'm like, no, it's not. So it went through a series of people, like executive from the production company, the owner of the production company, yelling at me, telling me he wasted all his time and his money. I said, hey, nobody told me that if this got picked up, I had to go do the show. I thought it was a discovery for you, a discovery for me. I don't know shit from steak sauce about how this all works, which I quickly turned that. I was not going to be inside of the TV business and not be really aware of what goes on. So finally, the president of the network called me and she said, "You're burning a huge opportunity. Brooke Johnson, you're burning a huge opportunity." I said, "Brooke, it's all to me about authenticity." I said, "I don't need the paycheck, and I said, I'm happy with my life. I love what I do. I like my cooking show called Guy's Big Bite. I cook food the way I want, call it what I want to call it, make it the way I want to make it." And I said, "I just don't, me and gadgets for cooking is just not a thing." She goes, "Well, you might not ever get a shot like this again." I said, "I really appreciate the opportunity, and I'm not trying to be a jerk, but I just don't want to do it." And she said, "Okay." And that was it. But fortunately, 6 months later, they called me back and said, "We're going to give you one more shot. You're going to be a food critic." I said, "Nope, thank you." Like, hold on. Why not? I said, "I'm not a food critic. I'm a cook. Last thing I'm going to do is go in and tell people they're doing it right and wrong. That's like someone going and telling somebody they don't like their art's wrong. Bullshit. That's not my style." So they said, "Well, okay, it's not that. It's not that. You go around," this was the key word, "you go around to mom and pop joints and you just eat the food and talk to the people." My God, I can do. That's my style. I said, "What's it called?" "Diners, Drivers, Dive-Ins, and Dines." I said, "What?" They couldn't get the name right. No one ever gets Diners, Drive-Ins, and Dives right. That's why we call it Triple D all the time. I said, "I could do that. I could do that. That sounds like dives. I love dives. I don't know a lot about diners because we don't have many of them on the West Coast. And drive-ins, I love. That was always special to me to go to the A&W drive-in when I was a kid. We didn't eat fast food when I was a kid. So when you went there, that was like big deal. And that's how I got going.
Wow. Interesting.